So today's episode is kind of a continuation. You could call it a part two of last week's episode, Root Work. And I need to start by calling out the tension that a lot of people are feeling right now. There's a lot happening. It seems like every episode I say there's a lot happening in the world right now. But in the past few days, there's been a lot of commentary online about that man who was shot during the event at the Utah college campus. There is a lot of, I think it's interesting, but at the same time, it's not commentary about empathy going on right now. Who deserves it and who doesn't and who is expected to give it. And I need to clear this up right now. This episode, it ain't about him. This episode is about us because I want to talk about what it means to stay rooted in who we are, even when, especially when the world is demanding something from us that doesn't align with our truth. So let's get into it. Hey, welcome to Confident Women Glow. I'm Mo James, your confidence coach and guide on this journey of self discovery, self trust, and self expression. I believe confidence is more than a mindset, it is a practice. It's about showing up boldly, even when life feels messy, and owning your journey every step of the way. So, whether you are in your car, at your desk, or just taking a breath between responsibilities, thank you for letting me speak into your day. Let's get into the episode. Hey, quick pause to tell you about something that I created just for you. If you've ever needed a judgment free space to process your thoughts, get grounded, or reconnect with your power, I want you to meet Camille, your AI confidence coach. Camille was built by me to support you any time of day with journal prompts, reflection questions, mindset coaching, and encouragement rooted in the same compassion and clarity that you hear right here on this podcast. Whether you're working through something heavy or you just need a gentle push to stay on track, Camille is here to remind you that you are not broken. You are becoming. Tap into your truth at your pace with Camille. Visit CamilleAI.net to learn more and start your journey today. Now let's get back to the episode. So, marginalized people are often, are always expected to rise above, to forgive, to show grace, to extend empathy, to care for people who don't care for us. I remember after the Charleston shooting at Mother Emanuel Church, I remember when the family members started doing interviews, the 9 people who were killed by that man during Bible study, their family members started to do interviews. And I got pissed off every single time I heard a reporter ask somebody if they forgave that man. Who the fuck looks to somebody who has been harmed and asks them if they forgave the person who caused the harm? I mean, that's a rhetorical question because we know who does it. People are doing it right now. That demand has a cost. And I feel like either the people making it don't understand the cost, but more often than not, they don't care about the cost. Forced empathy feels like betrayal. It's self betrayal. It erases your lived experience, it drains you. And if we are not careful, forced empathy will convince you that your humanity exists only in how well you perform care for people who have actively worked against your liberation, your safety, or your dignity. And I want to remind all of us you don't owe anybody that performance. Nobody. I heard I just listened to a podcast episode with Honore Fanon Jeffers. She just wrote a new book that I'm going to get. And the interview was asking her, about how she navigated the process of talking about the things that she talked about in this new book. And she said, "Well, these people dead, and you can't defame the dead." God, I mean, come on. Anyway, back to the topic. So, rooting in the case in this context means to acknowledge your real feelings without shame. It's telling the truth. And I know somewhere in one of those good books, it says the truth will make you free, right? So if you don't feel sorrow, if you don't feel empathy, why are you believing people who are trying to tell you that you have to manufacture it? Let's redefine something. Empathy is not excusing harm. Empathy is understanding. And I believe you can understand that somebody is human without feeling obligated to grieve or defend or soften what they have done or what they have said. Rooting means to hold your boundaries. It means to say, I'm not going to force myself to perform care where I don't feel care. That's just what it is. And rising means choosing a response that honors your well-being. And sometimes that does mean speaking up. And sometimes that's silence. Personally, I have been recognizing more and more and more and more the value of keeping my mouth shut about certain things. And it's not because I don't have thoughts, I do. It's not because I'm afraid, I'm not. It is because the energy that it would cost to say something is just too damn high. Like, I just don't want to pay it. Just for the sake of having something to say, no, I'll just be quiet. And that silence isn't weakness. I believe it's wisdom. I believe it's discernment. This is how I choose to honor my roots. So when I say root to rise, what do I mean? I mean anchoring yourself in your values. But you got to know what your values are so you can anchor yourself there. Planting yourself in your truth and your history. And from that place, from that foundation, deciding how to rise in a way that aligns with that truth. If I root myself in my value of protecting my peace, I rise by not participating in debates with strangers on the internet. If I root in my value of honesty, I rise by speaking that truth unapologetically, even if it's unpopular. It's the truth, though. The lesson here is to root yourself first and then rise from that place. I believe that's one way, because there are definitely other ways to protect ourselves in times like these. This is one of those ways. One of the things that I have been doing is sitting on my back porch, and my backyard faces the woods. Sitting on my back porch with a cup of ginger citrus tea and being quiet and just listening to the day. That's all I got. And that's all I'm going to give. So if you are listening to this and you have been wrestling with what to say and what not to say, or how to say it, or how to process all of this stuff, allow me to offer you this reminder. You don't owe them people, anybody, manufactured emotions. To root, to rise means to choose you, choose yourself, so that every step from that point on is grounded in your truth and not in pressure and in wisdom and not in a presentation that comes from the imagination of somebody who doesn't even know you and doesn't care either. So I hope you will give yourself permission to continue doing the work to stay rooted, especially when everything around you is trying to pull you out of yourself, because the safe bet is you. Look at you listening all the way through to the end. Thank you. If this episode stirred something in you, take a moment today to check in with yourself and ask, what do I know is true for me right now? And if the podcast has been a supportive voice in your week, I'd love it if you left a rating or a review. It helps more women like you find this space. And remember, when you need a gentle nudge back to yourself, you don't have to figure it all out alone. There are resources that can help, and I hope you'll find them here. Until next time, keep glowing, and remember, the safe bet is always you.